a 19-year-old Pashtun of Mangora who is the proud winner of the 2014 Nobel Peace Prize. She won because of her incredible ability to speak and speak out for what she believed in. The person that she has become reflects her name, Malala, which comes from Malalai. Malalai of Maiwan was an Afghan heroine. The legend goes that she used her bravery to turn the battle in favor of Afghanistan, leading to one of the greatest victories of Afghanistan in history. She used the power given to her by education and her father to stand up to the Taliban to declare what she believed. When she started to speak out against the tyrannic Taliban, they found her and shot her in the face. She recovered well and her beautiful brain remains intact. Since then, she's become an icon for the atrocities committed by the Taliban and recognized globally for her bravery. The Taliban is a terrorist group that uses a distorted version of Islam partnered with fear to control and gain power in Afghanistan. They govern using discursive practices, becoming the dominant discourse of their own twisted legitimization of themselves, using Islam as an excuse. This dangerous legitimization has led to some of the worst violence in the area's history, and a deep fear set in most people. All of this resulted in a bloody, bombed, and polluted place, which was once a paradise, a tourist attraction, a peaceful valley near a beautiful river. Fear is powerful. Often, those seeking power attempt to obtain it through fear, while those seeking power attempt to control fear. Fear controls those who have power, and those who have power fear to lose it. The Taliban attempts to use fear to rule by assigning specific soldiers to small villages to intimidate them, sending or giving threats, killing, harming, or humiliating people as examples to others. However, it's clear that they fear to lose power all the time. When they see power in others, they fear for the loss of their own. So, why does the Taliban fear Malala and her father? Critical pedagogy states that knowledge brings power, and the Taliban fear that power. That's why the Taliban bombs hundreds of schools. To take away a child's education is something one can only do when they are truly afraid. In schools where the power-to-knowledge relation exists, the curriculum is built to conclude lessons on how content relates to social relations, such as Malala's father's school. It's all too easy for us to decide that these are far-off problems in a far-off land that have no relevance. This cannot happen. These issues can somehow seem separated from us in America, although they are not separated by time like many other issues. Especially today, when we have access to a network of communication that we can contact most anyone and learn about most anything, we should feel right on top of this issue. So, where is this separated feeling coming from? understanding of the issues lies in the anti-Islamic speech and fear-mongering following the 9/11 attacks committed by Al-Qaeda. The most influential thing in society today is the media. Their hegemonic influence rules the nation, and their opinions and analyses of issues inevitably becomes that of the public. Two especially hegemonic figures today are the presidential candidates. Their words have changed the face of political parties they represent, the content of media coverage, the thoughts and beliefs of Americans, and therefore our actions. They, along with the fear caused by the 9/11 attacks and the actions of the Taliban as a whole, have completely changed many Americans' view on Islam as a religion. Generalities in general are dangerous. But to generalize an entire religion as violent, as suicide bombers that want to terrorize America for reasons, it's just completely insane. The hegemony of the Taliban is supported by their ideology. The way they interpret the Quran is what they use, produce and represent their ideas, values, and beliefs, and the manner in which they are expressed. As was stated earlier, the Taliban attempts to legitimize their specific ideology, and unfortunately succeeds through the use of force, as many hegemonic structures do. Malala exists as an oppositional ideology, and challenges the dominant ideology of the Taliban, and their belief that girls shouldn't go to school. This ideology is not exclusive to the Taliban, however, as it is seen all throughout the world, whether or not it's in the conscious minds of educators. A critical educator will be wary of this. Knowledge is a social construction deeply rooted in a nexus of power relations. Knowledge is only defined as we define it socially, and so we can't decide what's true until we examine something critically. All social events are situated in a referential field. We, as critical educators, need to recognize this before we can ask important questions and solve important issues. Malala's bravery is not only something to be admired, it is a symbol of power that educated women and educated people in general can have. The power she wields, she cannot continue to wield on her own. Critically educated people all across America need to learn about the current issues and help her face them, help her in her oppositional ideology. We do not stand before the social world, we live in the midst of it. We must take action if anything is to be done about the injustices taking place in the lives of millions.